everybody, Dr. Nowak here. I hope everything's going well with your aquariums. I wanted to show you this, the antique fish tank. It's been filled with nothing but basically shrimp of different types. But I did a video a few videos ago where somebody here where I live gave me some guppies. And I put the guppies in this 20-gallon antique aquarium and in a 6-gallon tank. And I have not had good luck with guppies, no matter who's given them to me, if they're from a different state or the breeders that have farms and breed the guppies, whatever. I just don't seem to have good luck with the guppies. They are always dying on me. And there was a particular YouTube video watcher of mine, one of my people that watch my videos, who offered to send me guppies, even sent me some guppies, went through all that trouble, and within a few weeks they passed away. And I'm wondering what's going on with these guppies. They just don't seem to acclimate to my water conditions, or something's wrong, okay? A lot of people have wrote in the comments that I have guppies, I have no problems at all, but apparently I put them on hold for maybe 30 years, because every time I bought them, like at your aquarium store, Petco, that they would just die, no matter what I bought. Even at a reputable aquarium stores, they would just die within a matter of a few weeks to a month or two. And that would be it with the guppies. But anyhow, what you're looking at here is the guppies the guy gave me. They're from Florida. He got them from somebody from Florida. I guess a town or two away from where we live. So it's basically going to be the same water conditions as what we have where we live. And then they've been breeding so profusely for him, he's given away the guppies to like a Petco, let's say, so to get rid of them. And that's when he found me and said, hey, would I like to have some guppies? I said, well, sure. I've been trying to, raise guppies for years and years, like I did when I was a kid, but I just don't seem to have any luck with them for some reason. Well, the tank you see here had basically shrimp in it for years, and the little 6-gallon tank basically had shrimp in it. So I said, yeah, I got it. I got some tanks that have been completely empty, just have shrimp in it, and be more than happy to take your guppies. Hey, I'll try them out. I told him right off the bat, I'm not, for some reason, I can't seem to keep them. Well, that was proven wrong with what you're watching here. He gave me these guppies. They were already acclimated to our water conditions, and they have been doing just fine. I lost 2 guppies out of all the guppies he gave me, and that was 2 males that jumped out of the aquarium. Now, out of the 6-gallon aquarium, I haven't lost any. But I only lost those 2 males that jumped out. Okay, that's explainable. They jumped out, didn't get them in time, they dried up. Next morning, you find them on the floor. But that is it out of all the guppies he gave me for this tank. Not only are they doing great and eating profusely, they are having babies. I find all kinds of different stages of little guppy baby growth, that there's plenty for them to hide with the moss that's in there, the flame moss. And I have no complaints about these guppies. Now, I don't know if it has to do something with the water conditions they were grown up in, since these are domestically raised guppies, they're not from a farm. Is it something with the water conditions? Is it something with the what they fed them? I asked them what have you been feeding them? Is there something special? So I know to feed them. So he said, no, just I've been feeding them like Tetra Flake food. I said, that's it? He said, yeah, that's it. And I do a water change, maybe like once a month. I'll do a water change. Okay, all right. And I did a whole video on him and his tank and talking to him about the guppies. But I did want to show you this because it's funny how no matter what guppies I tried, no matter who sent me guppies or anything, um, they would just die. And before you know it, you'd be left with maybe a female or a male, and then within a month or so, they would die. Now I do understand guppies do not have a longevity of like some other fish. They can live anywhere between only a year to 5 years, depending on the guppy and how well, what would you say, a hybrid it is. And the more colorful it is, it seems like everybody says the more colorful, the more delicate. The less colorful they are, it seems like the stronger they are. They live longer than the ones that have been hybrid to the point that they're super colorful. And so what we're looking at here is some pretty colorful ones and some others where basically just the tails are colorful. The males don't look bad at all. They're better than your feeder grade. In fact, I even have to admit, I even bought feeder grade guppies, thinking that okay, I'll buy some of these and see if these can make it, and they didn't make it even. They died off. No matter what I did, they died off. So I wanted to do this video to show you that if you are having trouble having guppies, it just could be where you're getting them from. Because apparently for 30 years I just could not keep guppies until now. They're doing great. I have to admit that these are great. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It would be nice to hear your comments. Is it something with the water conditions? Because that's the only thing I can think of why they're dying. Is it's got to be the water conditions. They can't acclimate as well as they did when I was a child to different water conditions. It's got to be something that is the common denominator of why I just couldn't keep the guppies. And these, there's no problem at all. As you can see, they're swimming around. They're eating profusely. If I feed them, it doesn't matter whether I feed them flake or a little guppy ball food. They do great. There's no diseases, where I could look at them and say, oh, I could see I'm getting ick or something. I see nothing in both aquariums. That's why I put them in two separate aquariums. I divided them up, put them, because I wanted to see if, like the 6-gallon guppies react the same way as the antique tank guppies. And guess what? They are. Haven't lost the one in the 6-gallon because it has a lid on it. But they're swimming around. They're picking on the moss, the flame moss, finding food. They don't bother the shrimp. They're not even interested in the shrimp. If the shrimp are walking around or something, they're not even interested in picking on them or doing anything with the shrimp. And so through my experiment with 2 different aquariums, and they're doing fine in both aquariums. Now, this one, I'll let you know, it doesn't really have an undergravel filter or anything. It has maybe a 1/4 of an inch of substrate of kitty litter. That's all it has. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch, very, very thin layer of kitty litter, which you can see in the very front there. That gray there, that's a little bit of kitty litter. Very, very thin. The other one has at least 2.5 inches or 2 inches of kitty litter substrate. It's run with a bubbler. That particular plenum is. It's a plenum, and it's run with a bubbler, and it's run with about 2.5 inches of kitty litter, and it uses a box filter, no sponge filter, and that's it. There is the box filter is in the back. And as far as filtration goes, that's more than enough for the fish. On this antique aquarium, I'm running it with a small canister filter. As you can see the tubes in the back, you can see the green tube is the intake. The clear tube that you see on the left is the one, the output of the canister filter. And the canister filter has a big BCB basket in it. Of course, with your other stuff, you know, your floss or whatever you're going to put in there to collect debris. And this canister filter, like on this particular aquarium, I change it and clean it maybe every, I'm going to say 7 to 10 months. Really, I do not clean it every month or every 3 months, because I write down the last time I cleaned it, and I don't bother with it. It seems to be pumping fine. And in the very center there is a skimmer, but I don't have the skimmer hooked up. It's running, you know, to circulate water, but it's not really hooked up to skim. It doesn't seem I have to worry about anything to skim off the top of the aquarium. Now, since the guppies have been there, no problem, because I don't want it to suck up any of the babies. So I just run the skimmer for water movement only. OASA skimmer is what it is. I think it's like 60 gallons an hour, but it helps keep water movement in the back there. And the intake, which is an EI tube, the intake has a sponge over it, a coarse sponge. That helps so it doesn't wind up sucking babies or shrimp or anything like that, instead of a strainer. Other than that, that's it. That's all the tank uses. Maintenance is next to nothing. Like I said, all I do is maybe every fortnight I'll take some water out, put fresh water in it, wipe down the aquarium glass, which really doesn't seem to need it, even though this is by direct sunlight. As you can see, it's right by a window. And so, hey, give me a comment. Are you having great luck with your guppies, or you ran into the same problem I did? Because now success is at 100%. It's great. I love guppies. I always have. So that's it for this video. Until next time, happy fish keeping.